delighted to welcome to the stage Her Excellency Artane Rizvanolli, who is the Minister of Economy at the Republic of Kosovo, and also Ilva Tare, who is the non-resident senior fellow from the Europe Center at the Atlantic Council. Thank you.
Thank you. And allow me to welcome our keynote speaker, Dr. Artane Rizvanolli, the Minister of Economy from the Republic of Kosovo, who joins us live with a PhD in economics from Staffordshire University in the United Kingdom. Minister Rizvanolli brings expertise in employment, private sector development, and public finances to this discussion. Dr. Rizvanolli, welcome.
Hi, it's a pleasure to join you, though I couldn't be there in person.
Thank you for joining us. Kosovo is facing a double challenge. On one hand, needs to accelerate the decarbonization of a fossil-dominated energy system, and on the other hand, needs to strengthen energy security. However, the country holds tremendous clean energy potential, and this is an opportune time to merge these efforts. How is this transformation progressing, and where can the transatlantic engagement play a role?
Indeed, our government is just over 2 years into the term, and over this period, there have been challenging times, having to face an unprecedented energy crisis in Europe, which was exacerbated by the unprovoked aggression of Russia in Ukraine. And we find ourselves with high reliance on 40 and 60-year-old unreliable and polluting power plants. Where decisions in the energy sector for the long term, for the future energy sector, need to be made immediately, as well as facing the crisis. We took this situation as an opportunity, a silver lining of the crisis, if you will. We've learned the lessons that the last few years have taught us, unfortunately, that there is no national security without energy security, and that investment in renewables and in energy efficiency is not just a means of fighting climate change anymore, but it's crucial for energy independence and energy security, and particularly energy independence from authoritarian regimes such as the Russian ones. So what we have done is we have took a U-turn in energy policy, and embarked on a very ambitious mission to transform our energy sector, to decarbonize our energy sector by 2050. And we've foreseen very ambitious but realistic targets for building renewable capacities, adding over 1,300 renewable capacities, mainly wind and solar, by 2031, compared to 240 that we currently have. So over five-fold increase in total amount of renewable capacity, installed capacity that we have, as well as increasing energy efficiency. We have already we're already working on making this a reality. We have successfully launched our first auction for 100 megawatts of solar PV, the first in the country, together with Prime Minister Albin Kurti and the USAID Administrator Samantha Power, who was here in Kosovo just last month, exactly 1 month from today. And this is just one in a range of, the first in a range of auctions in wind and solar that are upcoming. But meanwhile, we're also working on several other projects, including innovative ones by European standards and global standards too, like district heating powered by solar systems, and also investing in batteries to increase the flexibility of our system. Regional cooperation is another must, and also another lessons that we've learned from the crisis, i.e. energy crisis and energy issues are not bound by country borders. They are cross-border, and they can only be addressed by cooperation and in such a way. And of course, particularly it becomes important, regional integration becomes particularly important at a time when not only us, but other countries in the region too are increasing the share of variable renewables in the system. And one important step that we are taking here now is operationalizing ALPEX, the Albanian exchange, which is the joint power exchange between Kosovo and Albania, which we will operationalize in Kosovo, the Kosovo branch in September, first for the day-ahead market and then intra-day market. And meanwhile, in our efforts to join the crisis, we have ramped up investment in renewables. We have invested more in efficiency, energy efficiency. We have invested more in energy efficiency last year and will continue to more than double it this year. And this is more than we have done in the whole history of the country. So we are talking the talk, but also walking the walk. And transatlantic cooperation, no doubt, plays a very important role here. We have seen how transatlantic cooperation has helped particularly Europe and the region and Ukraine, not only with adding LNG supplies, which were crucial for this winter, but also in a more strategic and long-term way. We see this working in multiple dimensions, including transfer of skills and technology, which is crucial. Particularly when we talk about new innovative technologies and sources like geothermal, we're also want to explore the possibility of SMRs, deploying SMRs in Kosovo. We've applied actually for a feasibility study for a capacity of up to 300 megawatts. For deploying SMRs. This is another aspect in which this transatlantic cooperation is crucial. And we do look forward to continuing the discussion, which is taking place under various forums, including the PTAC forum, of which we are part of since 2 years ago. And it has been a very useful forum for us to get together with both businesses and policymakers to discuss the way forward, because the challenges, though at different extents for countries, both in the region, in Europe and the US and other countries, differ, but at the same time, we all have the same goal. And to a similar, and to some extent, we also face the different, the joint and similar challenges.
Well, thank you for sharing with us the ambitions, plans of Kosovo's government. Private sector investments are critical for a large-scale deployment of clean energy solutions, Minister Rizvanolli. How would you describe the investment environment in Kosovo today, especially in this sector? Which additional reforms and policies are necessary to stimulate business interests?
We have undertaken several very important steps, particularly in the sector. First of all, by providing a clear vision, a clear strategy and policy stance, we're already seeing interest by private investors, and we're already seeing new investments in renewables, be it in solar particularly, but also a private investor just came from Germany to start building the first biogas plant in Kosovo. So we are already seeing this reaction to the signals that we are giving as a country for our policy direction. In the meantime, we are working on the first law on renewable energy in Kosovo, and the launch of the first auction is very important for us. We worked hard over the last more than a year to secure the land, grid connection, and to streamline procedures. We're working closely with all actors, including regulators, municipalities, other ministries, to make it as easy as possible for the investors. We're also extremely committed to making sure that the process is fair and competitive and transparent, not only as a means of securing the best quality and price for the consumers, but also for sending the right signal to foreign investors that Kosovo is a safe place to invest in and that we have fair competition in the country. In more general terms, our government has done an exceptional job, if I may say so without all modesty aside, an exceptional job in fighting corruption and improving rule of law over the last 2 years, particularly. And this is something that is also increasingly being recognized by foreign investors. Therefore, I am very confident that we are in a very good way, not only to reaching our ambitions in the energy sector, but also to further attracting investment also in manufacturing and services. And in fact, we are already seeing over the last few years, we have more than doubled exports, more than doubled FDI. And if I go back to energy, again, another very important aspect that we are tackling is investing in the skills of the workforce, developing new programs for renewable energy, for energy efficiency, for the energy sector of the future. And we're already seeing some companies, either older companies like Yaha Solar, which is the first producer of solar panels in the country, operating for more than 10 years now, but also now companies starting specific production lines or parts of production lines in the value chain of production of batteries or servicing of batteries. And with a young skilled workforce and with the investments in these renewable energy related and adjacent skills and profiles, we are confident that we can be a leader in the region.
Minister Rizvanolli, thank you very much for joining this conference from Pristina. And over to you.
It was a pleasure, and I do look forward to hearing the discussions on the supply chains, which are definitely something that we are keeping an eye on, both Inflation Reduction Act in the US particularly, and Critical Raw Materials Act in Europe. And we are looking for ways in which Kosovo, but also the region, can find our place, particularly as a destination of nearshoring and friendshoring with countries, partnering with countries like the US and EU, with whom we share values, not only economic interests.
Thank you again. Over to you, Reid.